So it was quite an interesting week for Detroit sports. The Pistons ran into a bit of some roadblocks on their push for the playoffs. The Tigers' spring training rolls on. And the Red Wings' playoff hopes continue to hang on life support, but they got a big win just to stay and keep it on life support. Because with the Wings, when it looked like they were out of it, they always find a way to reel you right back in. Every time without fail. So let's take a look at how Detroit sports fared this week. Starting off with the Tigers, though, not much else to see with the Tigers here. Oh, it's spring training, of course, just trying to get tuned up, though. But we're getting closer to opening day. As the Tigers, they had a couple mixed bag results with some wins and losses. They even had two more ties added to the category. So now they've had 3 ties in spring training so far. Yeah, that's how you know it's spring training and not the regular season. When you have games in baseball ending in a damn tie, where both teams lose. But yeah, only a couple more weeks until opening day in San Francisco against the Giants. But yeah, don't worry, we're getting closer and closer to the end, to the baseball season officially beginning. Potentially the last bit of baseball we get for a little bit. Because the current MLB CBA expires at the end of the season. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'll probably remind everybody again when we get close to the end of the season, of course. And the Tigers also are doing some experimenting, though, having Spencer Torkelson at right field. Interesting. Maybe that'll be enough to save. Maybe that'll be enough to save him from being a total bust. Time will tell there, that's for sure.
Detroit basketball!
So now on to the Pistons as well. The Pistons this week, it started off very promising when they went to face Washington and gave the Wizards, the worst team in basketball right now, a good old-fashioned belt-to-ass whooping, beating the living shit out of the Wizards and not even giving them a chance. And of course, they had a second game coming up, which means for the second game, expect much of the same. Man, wait. The hell do you mean they lost to the Wizards in the second game? What the fuck? And Cade Cunningham dropped 38 points on them, and they still lost? What the actual fuck? How in the fuck did the Pistons drop 38 goddamn points? How the fuck does Cade drop 38 points on Washington, and the Pistons still lose? And it's Washington! Washington, the Wizards! That team is actively trying to suck to win the draft lottery, or hope the lottery gets rigged for them. And you really lost to that? That's honestly an embarrassing loss for the Pistons. Like, honestly, that type of loss is how people end up calling you a bunch of fucking frauds. But the Pistons would bounce back against Oklahoma City, as they had a very hard-fought game against the Thunder. Only in the end for the Pistons to fall short, and a little bit of ref ball playing a factor in it. And before anybody asks, no, I am not blaming the goddamn refs for the loss to the Thunder, so most people will. Even J.B. Bickerstaff went off on it, saying the officiating's a complete joke. Which you already know that means he's going to get fined, because he dared criticize the officiating. All I say is the NBA's, like a $50,000 fine, like that's really going to teach Bickerstaff his lesson there. Fucking morons. But overall, I'm not going to blame the refs, because at the end of the day, the refs are not the reason why the Pistons lost. The Pistons honestly did it to themselves. Like, let me just say this. It is not the refs' goddamn fault that the Pistons went down 18 points to the Thunder to start the game. That's the Pistons' own goddamn fault for putting themselves in that hole early. Like, say whatever you want about the officiating or pull that excuse card all you want. And don't get it twisted. The officiating has been fucking horrible. Let's not get that twisted. However, it's not the reason the Pistons lost this game. Because at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is, at the end of the damn day, the Pistons had 48 minutes. 48 minutes to not put themselves in a position where the refs could dictate the outcome of the game. The Pistons failed to take advantage of it, bottom line. Like, honestly, yes, the officiating was complete bullshit. But the Pistons put themselves in a position where the refs could do that. You can't do that. Especially if you want to be successful in this league. Like, bottom line is, the Pistons played like ass against the Thunder early and dug themselves in a hole they couldn't dig out of. And bottom line is, the Pistons didn't deserve to win that game, and I'm not going to blame the refs. I'm not blaming the refs for the game against the Thunder because it's petty and fucking childish and it's taking the goddamn easy way out. Plus, blaming the refs is something fucking losers do. Honestly, we are not like other fucking fan bases here in the 313. We actually have fucking standards here. But even despite all that, the Pistons, all I say for the Pistons in that whole game against the Thunder is, man, thank God we have a massive fucking cushion against Atlanta for 6. And for the 6th spot. Because even despite that, whatever that was against the Thunder, they're still 5 games ahead of Atlanta for 6th in the Eastern Conference. And they're only a game and a half back now from Milwaukee for 4th. So, they're still not out of it in terms of the 4th spot. Like, honestly, the loss of the Thunder probably kills any chance of them possibly getting to 3rd, getting to 3, because with 14 games left, they're 6 games behind the Knicks for 3rd in the Eastern Conference. Even though there's 14 games left and they could make that up, like, mathematically, they're still within striking distance of going up to 3rd. But realistically and probability-wise, probably not really much of a chance. There's definitely a strong chance for 4th, though. And keep this in mind. The Pistons played the Bucks in back-to-back games to end the season, to end the regular season. And also, I believe one more win for the Pistons and they'll clinch at least a play-in spot. But of course, we all know the 313 wants more than just that. We don't want to worry about that stupid fucking play-in tournament. But there's still a lot of work left to be done in these last 14 games. And of course, and the main message for everyone, unless you're Utah or anybody else in the West that are eliminated, the rule is don't get eliminated. So now to the Red Wings, as of course the Wings season was already shut down the shitters. Once again, they're suffering another late season collapse like they've had the last 2 years. Because 2022, they were in a position for a playoff spot, lost 6 straight near the start of March. And last year they had the 7-game losing streak, and now this year, they're on a 5-game losing streak as we're entering mid-March. And of course that losing streak would continue in a loss to Ottawa, and it's pretty much a game that was just one painful fucking dick punch after another. As the 2 goals scored by Ottawa were by David Perron, who got released by the Wings who the Wings let walk in free agency during the offseason. And then Dylan Cousins, who the Wings were in the running for about the deadline before losing out to Ottawa. Like, this is honestly not even a tragedy anymore. It's just becoming a fucking comedy. God damn it. But after that loss, the losing streak would end at 6 games as the Wings would end up getting a blowout dominant win over Buffalo 7-3. With Patrick Kane getting 2 goals and Marco Kasper finally getting his first big boy game of his career, getting 2 goals. Holy shit, Marco Kasper actually living up to his potential from when he was drafted in the first round in the top 10 a few years ago. Maybe Kasper's finally starting to hit his stride. Maybe Kasper decided to no longer be the friendly ghost anymore and decided to be a not-so-friendly ghost. Time will tell there. And then the Wings ended up going on and losing to Carolina 4-2. Honestly, that was expected because Carolina's a damn juggernaut. Trying to still contend with whatever hopes they have to get first in the East with Washington. But then after that, the Wings would bounce back and they would get a shutout win over Vegas. Interesting. Well, I mean, maybe. Well, I think the Wings caught Vegas at a good time since Vegas has been on a slide as of late. And the goalie that got the shutout was Peter Mrazek. Holy fuck, Peter Mrazek actually fucking played good hockey for once? Oh, damn, that is a bit of a shock. He actually lived up to that albatross of a contract of his for once. Man, just the one problem with him is he's always been inconsistent. That's the main issue. Every time he has a good game, he immediately has a shit game the following game. But maybe things will be different now that he's a backup to Cam Talbot. But yeah. But yeah, maybe if we could get some consistency out of him, maybe I won't be too pissed about acquiring him at the deadline. I mean, there was a reason why the Wings got rid of him a long time ago, and that was because he was extremely inconsistent as all hell. But hey, with that win, the Wings still stay alive in the playoff races. They're only 2 points out of a wild card spot, mainly behind the New York Rangers for the 8th and final playoff spot. And I gotta deal with the likes of Columbus and Montreal in that race, because Montreal has somehow entered the chat. I don't know how the hell the Habs entered that chat, but they're here. And of course, for the Wings playoff run, well, it's about 16, 17 games left. It's not going to be easy, especially when a majority of the Wings' remaining schedule is against playoff teams. I mean, sadly, you can't play Buffalo 82 times a season, or any of those shit pile franchises. But yeah, Wings got a lot of work to do, especially considering that starting this week, they'll be going on a 4-game road trip. And 3 of those 4 road games are against teams currently in the playoffs. So it's going to be a very hard road trip. But if the Wings want to make it in and not get eliminated, they definitely got their work cut out for them. Like, they got to step up to the plate, or the Todd father is going to have to start motivating these boys again to keep playing fucking hockey. They gotta do something if they want to get any motivation up. Sadly, that one thing is they won't be getting this Carter Reserve, as he's now on IR. And also, Chris Ilitch was ranked bottom 3 in NHL ownership, ranked 27th out of 32 NHL owners. That's not even surprising. I'm honestly surprised he's honestly that high up on the list. Considering how much of a cheap prick he is, he's definitely nothing like his dad. Which is very sad, because when his dad ran the team, when Mike Ilitch ran the Wings, he was like one of the top owners in the league and was the gold standard. And now Chris Ilitch is an absolute fucking buffoon. Thank God Mike Ilitch isn't alive right now to see Chris run this fucking team in the ground. But the Wings, they still got a long ways to go, and they gotta get their shit together if they want to have any chance at the Stanley Cup playoffs. They definitely got their work cut out for them. But hey, if all else fails, at least we have the Pistons. Can't believe I'm actually saying that about the Pistons, but hey, if the shoe fits, I guess.